Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for iFive for the iPhone is provided by CacheFly at CACHEFLY.com.
This episode of iFive for the iPhone is brought to you by Gazelle, the fast and simple way to sell your used gadgets. Find out where your used iPhone, iPad, and other Apple products are worth at Gazelle.com. Hey, you guys! Are you old enough to remember that reference? Probably not. This is iFive for the iPhone, episode 116. It's the show where we cover the latest iPhone apps and tips and tricks, and of course, news as it comes down the news pipe. I'm Sarah Lane, your happy-go-lucky app friend who never complains or ever has a bad day, just a great person all around. Me. Yes, talking about myself. Number 1. So let's start off with a really nice perk that Amazon just gave its Amazon Prime members. I am one. Are you? Unlimited cloud photo storage. Now, Amazon customers pay $99 per year to become Prime members, which includes things like free 2-day shipping and access to Prime Music and instant videos. Now you can add your entire photo library to that list. You can find and upload photos from your computer by logging into Amazon Cloud Drive, but if you're like me, there aren't really any photos on your computer anymore. The majority of your photos over the last, 5 years are on your phone, so it's easier to just upload directly from here than transfer to a laptop and then sync to Amazon Cloud Drive. The app that I'm using is Amazon Cloud Drive Photos. It's new. It's also free in the App Store, and it's very easy to use. You just turn on auto save, and whenever you're connected to a Wi-Fi network or even a cell network if you choose, Amazon will just do its backup thing in the background. Or you can just back up manually. It's up to you if you don't really like stuff hanging out in the background. Now, although the Cloud Drive Photos app does support video as well and it's easy to upload, that doesn't count towards your unlimited storage. You can see that my video collection is being monitored. It cares. Now, any cloud service that you're trusting to keep your photo collection safe, you never want to think of it as totally foolproof. So I'm using my unlimited storage as a backup as well as Apple's iCloud, which I'm also paying for. And since I'm paying for Amazon Prime, it starts to add up. Now, I just really care about not losing photos, so it's worth it to me. But, make sure you're considering what you're ending up paying altogether. You have other options too. Google, Dropbox, Flickr, they all provide some level of free storage. Choice is yours. I will say, though, if you buy a lot of stuff from Amazon already, being a Prime member is pretty great, and unlimited photo storage is really great, and they've got the server space. Number 2. Remember last week when we had a question about the best way to watch podcast videos in a car, and I was like, what are you talking about? You're gonna kill somebody. Don't do that. Well, we got an email from Matt, who actually does have a really great car mount suggestion for anyone who can be trusted not to actually play videos while driving. It makes your iPhone feel more like part of your car's built-in entertainment system. Matt writes, you have to begin and end the conversation with MountTech. It installs into the slot of your car's CD player or can attach to a groove in the dashboard. It attaches the phone to the mount via a magnet, which gives it a nice, sturdy yet slim, clean profile in the car. I also bought a cheap case for my iPhone 5S and 6 and then slipped the magnet between the phone and the case because I don't want to affix anything permanent to my gorgeous device. And as Apple updates the form factor of the iPhone, it's one less accessory that needs to be replaced. Costs less than $30, securely holds the device for easy access to volume controls and playback features of my podcast app, which he says is audio only. So you're right, Matt, $30 price point seems pretty good to me. And MountTech actually does have some options, not just for iPhones, but GPS devices and mini tablets too. It does say on its website explicitly that a full-size iPad would be too heavy though. So don't go nuts here. We're talking about magnets after all. But it is a cool way to take advantage of the CD player that you're not using anyway. And if you are using it, I would like to meet you because you are a time traveler, and frankly, I miss 1994. Number 3, we got an email from Travis, who has what I bet is a pretty popular question. Travis writes, just after upgrading to iOS 8 on my iPhone 5C, I had to block someone. Unfortunately, since I corresponded with that person just before upgrading, their initials and profile are still listed in my recents. I don't want to continue to see that every time I look at my phone. Do you know of any way to clear all recents or something like that? Guess what, Travis? It is your lucky day. Okay, so what he's referring to is what shows up as recent contacts when he's toggling between apps. iOS calls this the app switcher. This has always kind of bugged me about iOS 8, I have to say. I mean, I don't care who I spoke with recently, and thankfully I haven't had to block anybody recently either. The conversations also exist in messages already. But let's say I'm doing something completely different. Maybe I'm switching between, I don't know, Safari and a photo app or something. The recent people initials, and in some cases profile photos, they're front and center. And yeah, Travis, if you've blocked somebody or you don't want to see their initials over and over or just value your privacy, you can turn this off. So you go to Settings, then tap Mail, Contacts, and Calendars, scroll down to the Contacts section and choose Show in App Switcher, and then you can toggle off recents, as well as anyone you might have set as a phone favorite. Now, if you're just looking to erase that one person, but you still like to keep your other recents intact, I think you're out of luck. I don't know how to selectively just delete one. I actually tried deleting a message thread inside messages with my hair salon because they had sent me a message reminding me to come in. But it's still showing up in my recents when I'm in my app switcher mode, so that didn't help it. But at least you can get rid of those initials that you don't like. And honestly, I think the design looks better cleaner anyway. This episode of iFive for the iPhone is brought to you by Gazelle. Hey, the new iPads are out. Maybe you are finally ready for an iPhone 6 Plus. Come on, join the cool kids. Gazelle wants to buy your used gadgets for cash. Just go to Gazelle, GAZELLE.com, and enter your item. Find your item and tell Gazelle the condition it's in. Is it in perfect condition? Maybe it's a little beat up. That's okay. Gazelle will give you a risk-free offer for your gadgets. And when it's time to send them in, Gazelle will even throw in free shipping. When it's time to get paid, you can choose check or PayPal or get an extra 5% with an Amazon gift card. You Amazon people know 5%. Why not take that? Go to gazelle.com now and get an offer for your old iPhone or your old iPad. And you can lock in today's price for 30 days. Gives you time to wipe some data, transfer stuff, go get your new gadget. By the way, if you don't know how to wipe data, Gazelle will do that for you completely free. So you know that Gazelle is trustworthy. You get paid in cash. Payment is fast within just a few days of your item being sent in. And those offers are good for 30 days. That's really helpful. Gazelle has paid nearly $170 million to over 1 million customers. That's a lot of satisfied people. What's your iPhone worth? What's your iPad worth? What's your other gadget worth that you're just not using? Get it out of the junk drawer. Get cash to buy the items you actually want. Go to gazelle.com right now and find out. That's GAZELLE.com. And thanks to Gazelle for sponsoring this episode of iFive. Number 4. All right, let's move on to an email from Mike in West Jordan, Utah, who has a little tip for Safari and iOS. We were just talking about Safari. Mike writes, have you ever accidentally closed a tab when trying to close another tab in Safari? When you're viewing your tabs, press and hold the plus button that adds a new tab. But if you hold it down, up comes a list of recently closed tabs. Great for when I try to close one, but accidentally get a second as well. You know, it's funny because this happens to me all the time. I'm actually a pro on my laptop at Shift-Command-T. That's the keyboard shortcut for open up the browser that I just closed by accident in Chrome. It does the same thing. However, even as a Chrome user, I tend to find myself in Safari on the iPhone pretty often, especially when I open links from inside other apps and it goes to Safari by default. And nothing is more annoying than closing the wrong tab because my little orange fingers got in the way. So think of this as your closed tab undo, and then it's nice that you can go back in time a little farther too. Thanks, Mike. Finally, number 5. Earlier in the show, remember a few minutes ago, I said I paid for Amazon Prime because I get enough stuff delivered to me that I end up coming out ahead in shipping costs. Let's talk about something else you can get shipped. Groceries. Do you like going to the grocery store? I don't really. Now, Amazon dabbles in food a little bit, but an app called Instacart is basically the equivalent of going to the grocery store without having to go and look for stuff and wait in line and remember to bring your wallet and, you know, that stuff that's just, it's time out of your day. You dislike it. Instacart promises delivery within an hour from chains like Whole Foods or Costco or Kroger or the Food Emporium with a reasonable $3.99 delivery fee. You have some other options too. Let's say you like your bananas really ripe or something like that. Everybody's got their particular things in the produce section, right? You can order produce the way you like it, or you can even order from multiple stores at once and save yourself not 1 but 2 trips or 3. That's one of the reasons I never go to Trader Joe's. They don't have everything there. I gotta go somewhere else. If you tend to buy the same stuff week after week, maybe on a pretty good schedule, you can just reorder previous deliveries, so you don't have to enter everything again. And if you want your groceries later in the day rather than within an hour, you can set that delivery time into the future a bit. Maybe you gotta drive home from work first and put your feet up. I don't know. It's pretty convenient though. Now, one of my most favorite apps in all of the land is Postmates, which I use for food delivery. It's usually pizza or Indian food on a regular basis, all the time. Postmates also supports certain grocery stores, so Instacart isn't the only app doing this. Instacart has some competition, but it's expanding pretty nicely in the US. It's currently in San Francisco, Chicago, New York City, LA, Boston, DC, Philly, Atlanta, Seattle, Portland, Houston, Austin, Denver, and Boulder, with other cities on the way. Before we go, one more thing. Last week I recommended an app called Overcast for listening to podcasts, and quite a few of you pointed out that I said watching podcasts, which led you to believe that Overcast supported video, which it does not. This is my fault. My bad, everybody. I think it's a force of habit on my end to say watch podcasts because, of course, everything is video here at Twit, and we hope that you like our videos. But thanks for keeping me honest. Appreciate that. And that does it for this episode of iFive. All of the apps and the links and the other information that we talk about in each episode is at twit.tv/iFive. You can email us questions or feedback to iFive@twit.tv. Leave us a voicemail at 614 on iFive. And I'm still Sarah Lane. I'll see you next week on iFive for the iPhone.